There's a lot of people worried about where the EVs went on Autotrader. A lot of people were saying it was because the Autotrader free adverts offer had finished. Well, very plausible, very plausible. Unfortunately, the EVs went off before the Autotrader free adverts finished, and ICE vehicles seemed to go up at the same time that EVs were going down. Now, I can only show you what I saw. A lot of people have accused me of lying and making stuff up. I don't lie and make stuff up because I always back it up with evidence. The people that accuse me of lying or being an old fud and stuff, honestly, they disgust me. There's no other way I can describe it. They absolutely disgust me. They're lower than whale shit, to be honest. They really are. The lies they come out with, and the lies that can be easily disproved. And I'll just show you some of the stuff I get here. First of all, for those of you who are worried about the disappearance of the electric vehicles, thinking they've been kidnapped or something, or to get rid of them, they've put them on a ferry and sunk it. Just let me show you a couple of things. So you'll see here, I've sent this to this computer off my other computer, but you'll see there 454,686 cars. This was before the offer finished. Now, EVs had already started going down a week or so before the end of the month. And if you think that these dealerships, let me just see, when was the 31st? So 31st was a Saturday, June the 1st was a Sunday, and June the 2nd was the Monday when the Autotrader offer finished, I think. So here we go. I'll open this. This is open. And then there's that one there. So there was 454,686 cars when I checked at the end of May. And then when I next checked, a couple of days later, 452,108. So they'd gone down, 2,400. But EVs had gone down over 4,000. So that technically means all the rest of the cars had actually gone up. So if 4,000 EVs had come off this total, it should be 450, shouldn't it? It should be 450,000. But the search there is showing 452,108 cars. So when EVs were going down because of the free stocking offer, where there's like, how many more times ICE cars, which will also be on the free adverts. Now, one of the things I will tell you about Autotrader's free advert offer, although it's nice, it's worthless. And when I say it's worthless to people like me and John, who used to advertise all our cars. So what am I going to advertise with my free adverts? What am I going to put on it? Nothing. And that's the same with everybody else. Everybody else would advertise. What's the point of having a car in stock? Nobody comes on your forecourt these days. They go on the internet and they research the car before they set foot out the door. Everything's done from the comfort of your armchair. If you haven't got a car advertised, unless you've been in the business a long time, you've got proactive salesmen doing prospecting, you've got lots of old customers who trust you, then you're going to have to advertise, I'm afraid. Those now, all the old family firms, they're all going out of business. They can't afford to keep going. It's a nightmare trying to keep going at the moment for everybody. All the good ones, the big boys are losing money hand over fist. You can't go begging for capital off your shareholders, so you go out of business. The bank won't give you any money. My old boss used to say, banks will lend you an umbrella when it's sunny, but when it's raining, they'll want it back. And that's it. They get the slightest sniff that you're not doing so well. You've got to put your accounts in every year. Get the slightest sniff, they'll pull the money. And they don't give a shit what happens to you if you lose your house or whatever. Honestly, trust me, they don't. Some of my good friends have lost their businesses, and it's not pretty, it's not nice. And just let me tell you this, I do not want any electric vehicle sellers to go out of business or suffer in any way. I want them to do the job properly. I want everybody to do the job properly. I want Autotraders to do the job properly. But treat people fairly. Don't discriminate against people who sell ICE cars and push EVs, because that's not fair. So, as I say, Autotrader's free adverts. It's okay. You can advertise your old cars, but having said that, the old cars are free anyway. So what do you advertise? Do you go out and buy more stock so that you can advertise them free and make hay while the sun shines? No, because nobody's got any money, because they've got it all tied up in blooming pre-registered EVs that they can't sell, or they're having to give away and lose money. And that's even worse. Trust me. Because when cars drop, you can borrow 80% on your stocking plan of a car's value. What happens if they drop 20%? You sell it, you make no money, but then when you have to pay it off, you've paid interest on it, you've paid a fee to put it on to start off with, which is about 80 quid. And then you have to give the finance company money because you've sold it at a loss. So that's even worse. Sometimes selling the vehicle and realising a loss is worse than not selling it. It is, and depending on what time of the month. So unlimited cars for most people mean nothing. After I published my 4,000 EVs go missing, I did ask for an explanation. There was there's some reasonable ones. There were some good ones, like Porsche. Porsche withdrawn the early Porsche Taycans because of a fire risk. So will they still advertise them? I don't know. I'm going to use this one. I think I've used this lad before. And again, nothing against him. I do not wish any harm or any loss of profit to him and his family and to the people they employ. I just don't. I've no animosity towards him at all. The only animosity I have is we've had a couple of engagements where he's called me names, and I proved him wrong last time. There's a couple of things that I would say. Here it comes. So, EV Nick. Typical Barrie Crampton being misinformed. Autotrader gave all dealers a stock boost. It ended this month. It means I took all my EVs off Autotrader as they sell without adverts and replaced them with the petrol part exchanges. So Nick there is implying that all his EVs that he sold, the part exchanges that come in, they're all petrols or ICE cars. So he's put them on the Autotrader on free adverts. So that's what he's implied. Typical Barrie Crampton. Well, typical Barrie Crampton making posts about certain things he believes in and putting evidence next to it, like I did with these, and I went back in time to show how they built up, and then all of a sudden they just dropped down. If you think that's right, fair enough, go with Nick. But you see, Nick, he's not what I'd call trustworthy. He's in with the evangelists. He's got a lot of evangelist friends, and they're all the same. You put evidence in front of them and they discount it, they say it's not true. So here we go, typical Barrie Crampton being misinformed. Now, just look at these. This Graham Cobb, he's in the trade too, or was, but it highlights how dishonest he is because he knows that and he's not thick. Blocked him long ago. EV Melt here. He's an utter clueless melt. I don't even advertise on AT on the whole. EVs are easy to sell. So, fair enough, there may be some situations you may just be in the right location, have the right age group around you, have lots of old customers who don't travel very far, who can charge from home in a nice little country town or something, I don't know. Because EV Newt, you see, he calls you names, but he's faceless. He's anonymous. He's very tough behind the keyboard. Everybody knows where I am. You've got my name, my telephone number, where I've worked, my email address. You know where I live. You know what I drive. Oh, just let me tell you a story about that. So one of my friends, he took a car in part exchange, and I think it was an Audi Quattro, and he couldn't wait to drive it. And anyway, he was going up Garstang Road, I think it was, at Preston. So as soon as he took this car in part exchange, he'd done a real good deal. He thought he was going to make a fortune. So he jumps in this Audi Quattro, shot off up Garstang Road, and he's driving up Garstang Road. And the next minute, a car shoots past him, overtakes him, pulls in front, stops, he stops, and a load of guys get out with baseball bats and smash the car up. Now, the car belonged to somebody who owed other people a lot of money. But the point was, they saw the registration number. Everybody knows my registration number. Everybody knows who I am. You know, I've got nothing to hide. If I am wrong, please tell me, please point it out, and I will apologise. I will hold my hands up. There's nothing I would like more than electric vehicles to sell on their own merit, and everybody, all my friends who are still in the car trade and who are on the phone to me moaning every day how bad it is and what EVs are doing to the job, all the people I've worked with, all the people I've trained, who I've had the same telephone number for years. You know, I'm not a burner phone. I don't sell cars and then after 3 weeks get a new SIM card so people can't keep ringing me up moaning. I've had the same number forever. My life's an open book. I've had ups and I've had downs. I've had plenty of downs, don't get me wrong, plenty of downs. But I've had some real good times. So EV Newt, who's anonymous and calls me names, he sells EVs, but yet he doesn't tell people where he sells them. Why do you think that is? You know, the internet, social media, it's a real big thing. Everybody else, even Nick's got a link to his garage, which is why I was able to easily disprove what he said and make him look ridiculous. To be honest, if I was him, I'd probably go home and lock myself in a dark room and not come out. But anyway, so here we go. We've got this other guy, Zillspeed. I can't imagine making an obsession of the thing you hate. And this guy here, smart move with the EVs. Thank you for clearing that up. By the way, I dropped you a message. Did you check it? Here you go. Voyager 03, Barrie Crampton is a grifting footwit. I know, you know, obviously they're all on EV Nick's side. So I've done a video and I've showed why I think 4,000 have disappeared. You do videos, statistics are open to interpretation. I see statistics differently than other people, and which is why I made the video. But just remember this, typical Barrie Crampton being misinformed. Autotrader gave all dealers a stock boost. It ended this month. It means I took all my EVs off Autotrader as they sell without adverts and replace them with petrol part exchanges. Okay, Nick, well, let's examine it. EV Nick, he's put stock boost ends 2nd of June. Contact your account manager to secure. So that's EV Nick's proof. And then we've got McCaskill. He's an odd individual. It seems his videos are particularly peculiar. Genuinely incredible. He has seemingly nothing better to do than sit in a cupboard making the same video over and over again. EV Nick, I love the fact he thinks dealers would pay vast amounts of money to advertise stock that doesn't exist. Now, where did I say that? Where? You know, where did I say that? So they make their own agenda up. But this McCaskill here. Now, let me just explain this a little bit. I make videos now, but I've actually been doing this making videos for the last 6 months about EVs, but I've been trying to help people for the last 2 years for free. The reason I didn't make videos about it then was we were advertising on Autotrader. It wouldn't take a whole lot. I mean, I came close, I think, a couple of times. I got banned from dealer auction for pointing out that, you know, well, I've done a video about that. If I'd got banned from Autotrader, it wouldn't only affect me, even though I could retire. If they banned me, I could retire straight away. John, my partner, didn't want to retire. John couldn't give a shit about EVs. He's been married to his childhood sweetheart, who he met at 13, married at 17. He's got 3 lovely kids, granddaughters, great-granddaughters, and so on. And he's happy. He's very, very content. He didn't want me to do this. He didn't want me to create waves. So, in the end, I couldn't stand it anymore. So I retired so that I could do this. Doing that has cost me a lot of money because I'm not getting an income from the garage anymore. And if you think, I mean, hopefully in the future, I will increase my income to cover the wages I've lost at the garage. But I want to help people. I want to stop these lies about EVs. I want to stop people like Nick saying things that aren't true. My stuff I put out there, and if you think I'm wrong, you can tell me. But there's more people who agree with me and message me than there are disagree with me. And the people that message me are still in jobs. So, you know, they don't want to be quoted. They don't want me to do the name. And I know you'll think exactly the same bullshit. He's making it up. Oh, think what you want. But I've got enough evidence. I've got enough evidence so that I don't need to rely on kind of whether you believe me or not, because I always put it in front of you. So this chap, he thinks I'm an odd individual making videos from my cupboard. I've had a couple of words with him before, and where we fell out, he gave me an example of an ice car that had £9,000 off, and he said, you know, fair point. He said, why are they knocking £9,000 off a vehicle they could sell easy? It wasn't a particularly easy vehicle to sell, but I then sent it back after reading the advert. There was a £5,200 contribution from Audi Finance, and said to him, you might want to read the advert before you make a fool of yourself. He totally ignored it. He just doesn't realise that you wouldn't get that money off if you went in with cash. Why are they knocking £5,200 more off if you go on finance? He can't see it, but he thinks I'm odd. I think he's stupid. He thinks I'm odd in a cupboard, on my electric desk, on my massage chair. In fact, I think I might just put that on. No, go back up. There's no point being uncomfortable while I make Nick uncomfortable, is it? Let's see, manual. I'll just do my back. Let's see. There, neck, upper shoulder, basic back, shiatsu. Now that's there we go. We'll have a bit of shiatsu. So if you, oh gosh, that's good. This, by the way, Fuji Irioki sent me this, or Medica Relax from London. Oh God, that's good. Sent me this from London, and because of these videos that I make while I'm sat in my cupboard, they want to send me 4 massage chairs. Must be what, 50, 60 grand's worth. They want me to be an agent for him in Preston, which I want to be as well, because these chairs, they change your life. I've got a bad back, or I had a bad back. This, perfect. So while I'm sitting in my cupboard, making videos, the same video over and over again, by the way, people seem to be taking notice. For instance, I made a video of this chair, and I actually got an inquiry from somebody in Russia. My mate wants to open a place in Serbia, all from this cupboard. Don't you think it's brilliant? So let's just go back. Yeah, Nick, I love the fact he thinks dealers would pay vast amounts of money to advertise stock that doesn't exist. Well, not only does it exist, but there's a lot more out there that exists. There's a lot more in different colours. There's a lot more that dealers can't afford to advertise. Nick, think it through. If Autotrader give you free adverts and you've got cars to advertise, like he has, he mentions the biggest cost, and I'm with him on this, the biggest cost for a car dealer is Autotrader these days. Way, way more than rent, rates and insurance, all that sort of stuff. Autotrader. And the thing with Autotrader is it's not as good as it was. They've taken their eye off the ball, completely taken their eye off the ball, in my opinion. I'd love to sit down with them and show them where they're going wrong, because what they're doing, they're making videos every week showing car dealers what they're doing wrong and how to sell EVs. And I think that's pretty arrogant. I mean, I sell cars, or I did sell cars, and I know what cars sell, and I know what they should be doing in order to make them sell. And they know that I know, because they used to send a rep out to see me, to brainstorm. And the funny thing is, this is an old Autotrader book, but I've got about 5 in there, all with my ideas on, all with the ideas I discussed with the lady when she came out, the young lady. Honestly, that'd open your eyes. There you go. Typical at Barrie Crampton being misinformed. Autotrader gave all dealers a stock boost. It ended this month. It means I took all my EVs off Autotrader as they sell without adverts and replaced them with petrol part exchanges. So I put good one, Nick. You know, I was implying he was joking. I knew he was joking. What I didn't tell him is I'd already checked. So I just fed him some rope, let him hang himself, and just show what these EV people are like. They've got no shame whatsoever. Here we go. You have 16 cars on your website and 16 cars on Autotrader. And as for EVs selling without advertising, that isn't true either, is it? If it was, you wouldn't have to reduce them, would you? And you wouldn't have had an EV in stock for 344 days, reducing it 16 times by 20%. You have 10 EVs and 8 of them have been reduced. I've also put at the bottom, trust me, for the good of the motor trade, I wish you were telling the truth. So, Luigi Motors, they all look okay, but you always get one. Here we go, Luigi Ramo. He looks nice guy. Then you've got Nicholas Ramo there. That's EV Nick, Luigi's son. Tess Ramo, showroom dog. I'm sold. Trust me, I like dogs more than people. Search our inventory. So I did that. I'd searched the inventory. So that's Luigi Motors. And then I went on to Autotrader. And that's his vehicles on Autotrader. Now you get, on Dealer Portal, you can put all your vehicles on, but you can tick which ones to advertise. So he's got 16 vehicles on his website, he's got 16 vehicles on Autotrader. What you can't see in this, and what he doesn't know I can see, is what vehicles he's got advertised. He still thinks he's got the upper hand, he still thinks he can fool me. But what he doesn't know is I've forgotten more about the motor trade, Autotrader, Dealer Portal, searching cars, finding cars, getting statistics, than he will ever know. He's come back to me, so I've put 16 cars, just gently letting the rope out. Jesus, again, you don't know how Autotrader works, pal. I have 6 cars advertised on Autotrader and 16 cars in the showroom. That's the ones which show only in my listings. That's true. We've got Neil Gascoigne here. Is this guy really a car dealer or just a gob on a stick? EV Nick, not a clue. But, you see there, Shane, Nick has been caught with his pants down. Now this comes here. Did you honestly take all your EVs off Autotrader, Nick? Cross your heart and hope to die. Again, that's it. Stock boost, it ended. I took all my EVs off Autotrader as they sell without adverts and replaced them with petrol part exchanges. I pointed out that he's saying these EVs sell without advertising, but he'd got one in stock that had reduced by 20% and had it in stock for 344 days. So, you say there, this guy has replied to him, who on earth buys a leased battery Zoe? Fair comment, they are less popular than battery owned. Some people love them, some hate them, but I've got 2 non-EVs with longer birthdays than the Zoe, but Barrie only tells his narrative. Now it's not my narrative, you see, because I'm just going off what Nick said about them selling easy and he's put his petrol ones on. Okay? So it's not my narrative, that's what he said. The car that he's had in stock, listing date 26th of June 2024, 344 days ago. That's the Renault Zoe you see there. See, no bull, no saying stuff. I say stuff and I back it up. Renault Zoe, there you go. Thanks to AT Price Tracker, that cuts through all the bull. If you've got AT Price Tracker, then customers, best thing ever. Customers and dealers know what's selling, how long you've had it in stock, how much you've had to reduce it. But there, that's been reduced. The car's only £6,000. It's been reduced by £1,505 over nearly a year. Nice enough car, low mileage. The garage looks like they sell nice cars. I can't knock them for that. All these EV people, especially the mouthy ones, seem to at least try to present cars properly. I'll give them that. Buy from EV Nick, Zoe expert. He's a Zoe expert. Now, Nick's a Zoe expert. What chance have I got of selling a Renault Zoe when Nick, EV Nick, the Zoe expert, has had this one in stock for 344 days and reduced it by 1,505. What's Barrie Crampton? Makes videos in his cupboard. Don't know what he's talking about. Liar. He's a gob on a stick. You know, gosh, honestly, this is unbelievably good. Let's just, oh gosh. 3D wavelet. What? Hopefully this doesn't affect my microphone and I don't go, oh, crikey. Oh God, that's heaven. Oh, let's see. Air massage option, no, twist, okay. Oh, Jesus, motion range, whole, okay. Oh. All right, sorry, back to Nick from my cupboard. So here we go. Now the coup de grace. Did you honestly take all your EVs off Autotrader, Nick? Cross your heart and hope to die. So then he's put, no, not all. Like you, I added a little bit of bullshit. But most, yes. I only pay for 6 adverts, as that's £1,000 a month. I agree with Nick. It's way too dear now for Autotrader's package, way too dear. I've been to Autotrader meetings in the past, and I think at the time they said their promise was, and this was Mark Thornborough. I have the utmost respect for Mark Thornborough. I like him as a person. He's got a job to do. I like him as a person. I've met him. He goes to Sorrento. He can't be all that bad. He stood up at the front of the class and he said, for every £1 you spend with Autotrader, you get 12 in return. That's it. And he said, and if you don't, get on to us. Ask us why. What's going wrong? Very, very convincing. You know, I was Autotrader's biggest fan. Absolute biggest fan. The business wouldn't have existed without them at all. I couldn't have lasted all these years in the motor trade without Autotrader. Right back to Polaroid Dave. When Polaroid Dave used to come round, take a photograph, a Polaroid of your car, black and white. He'd take, and Dave, give it here. No, Baz, you can't do it again. Dave, here. Give me the Polaroid. I'd got my marker pen and I'd circle it. And then I'd give it him back. And when it appeared in Autotrader, you'd be flicking through Autotrader's pages, just like when you picked a second-hand copy up. You know, you went in a cafe and there's a second-hand, and you'd be flicking through, and there'd be biro round it. Somebody'd seen it, and that's what they wanted. That's what they were gonna, that's what they were interested in. So your eye naturally is drawn to this circle. And it worked. Playing the system. Back. There we go. We'll go for a bit of rhomboid. I tell you what, I love this desk. This desk and this chair combination. I can sit here all day being massaged in my cupboard. Has anybody else got, here we go, has anybody else got one of these? Yeah? Have you got one? There you go, stop that. We'll go down again. Have you got a massage chair in your cupboard? An electric desk that people have sent you because nobody takes any notice of you? Oh. Right. So again, no, not all. I think there should have been a comma there. Like you, I added a little bit of bullshit. Now, everybody knows I don't add a little bit of bullshit. It's lies, according to these people. But now he's gone from, he took all his EVs off and replaced them with petrol part exchanges. But most, yes. So he's taken most of, he's got 6 adverts, he's taken most of his EVs off. As that's £1,000 a month plus VAT on my basic package. EVs are easy sells compared to petrol stock. So I put my Part X petrol stuff on, mainly with the odd EV. But back to your original bullshit stock boost ended, that's where all the cars went. Okay? All the EVs went on this stock boost. You've gone up now by 1,500. Or did I show you that? I can't remember whether I showed you. Baz, you've got to prove stuff to these EV doubting people. So there you go. Electric cars. 31,558. It's funny, isn't it? So the stock boost finished after EVs had gone down at the end of the month, but now they're going up. Is that logical to you? Because they're going up every day. So now people that weren't paying before are paying. Let's get back to Nick. Not all like you, that's what he said. So I've gone back. So these aren't the 6 cars you have on Autotrader that have just come up in the search. 5 EVs and a BMW X1 that's been advertised since November. Don't lie. Don't lie about Nick. He knocked all his EVs off because the free ones, and they sell without. But let me see. So all his petrol cars, his petrol part exchanges that he's advertised are a Renault Zoe, a Hyundai Kona, a Fiat 500e, another Hyundai Kona, and another Renault Zoe. Right, so they sell really easily. That one's been in stock there from the 20th of the 3rd, 2025, and it's been reduced by 1,055. These cars sell without advertising. Been reduced by 1,055. This one, been in stock since 17th of the 3rd, 2025, been reduced by £595. This one, been in stock since the 12th of the 11th, 2024. Down £1,182. This one, oh, that's stayed the same. Oh, it was only advertised the other week, 21st of the 5th, 2025. This one, this was advertised on the 12th of the 5th, 2025, and already they've reduced it £105. Then they've got one petrol X1, BMW X1. That's been in stock since the 9th of the 11th, 2024. And £716 they've reduced it by. So when he said he took all his EVs off and replaced them with the petrol part exchanges, it was a lie. Because that's what the EV people do. They lie. It's not me that's lying. I try my best to be honest. I try my best to be impartial. I try my best to do things for the good of the motor trade. It's not for my good, it's not for my benefit, it's for the good of the motor trade. I've had 50 odd years in the motor trade, mostly good. I love the motor trade. The things I've done in the motor trade, the part exchanges we've taken in, the characters that we've dealt with. I was talking to my brother-in-law the other day about a guy that used to come in called Tony Lobb, and great bloke. Used to turn up in stuff like big American cars, Lincoln Continental or something, and great character. There were some great characters in the motor trade. They really, really were. Nick had a go at the old characters in the motor trade. I'll try and find it. See, that really annoyed me. But do you know what? He had a go at the old characters in the motor trade, saying they're all like bullshitters and this, that and the other. Do you know what? The thing that really, really annoyed me, the thing that really, really annoyed me about Nick, well, there's a couple of things that really annoyed me about Nick. One is pal and buddy. If any of my salesmen, if I'd heard any of them calling somebody pal, if I'd heard it twice, they'd be home. They'd be on a week's suspension. If I heard them calling people buddy, I think I'd just sack them. You're not my pal, you're not my buddy. Nick would never ever be my buddy. He'd never ever be my pal. I've got some very, very good pals. Nick would never make the grade. He'd never make the grade as a salesman for me either. Anyway, I'm quite happy here in my cupboard. I don't want to go back selling cars. This is what he came back with. This is where I wanted to jump in my car and go down to their garage. It's winding me up now. Never answered. Clearly been caught out in a lie. He's not taking his EVs off. He's trying his best to sell his. You can see there. He's reduced them. He's had to reduce them because they're not selling. That is a lie. He's not taking them off Autotrader. That's a lie. And he's only got one petrol. Out of his 6 cars, he's got 1 petrol and 5 EVs. Complete and utter lie. This, it's not memes. EV people, that's it all. They have no sense of humour, seemingly. So they have to search a meme, get some ideas. They can't reply to you in a text. They can't give you a funny reply, so they have to look for a meme. This isn't a funny meme. This is not a funny meme, and I can't stress how much this meme annoys me. I really, really can't stress it. Nick didn't reply that I'd caught him out in a lie. This meme, this meme almost makes me cry. And I thought twice about putting this on because people say you get triggered. Imagine the poor people who've been in this, and when I say poor people, it'll be young girls and young boys. Imagine making fun of that situation. Imagine the type of person that you have to be to use that when you've been caught out lying. What a piece of shit. What an absolute piece of shit. I said I'd stop swearing in my videos. You piece of shit. My heart bleeds for these people who've been in this situation. And if you're watching this and you have been in this situation, I can only apologise. I can only apologise. Piece of There you go. Reverts to type, a fucking serious subject turned into a meme. Go sell your EVs in Rochdale, Nick. Nick's so stupid. I'm not in Rochdale, buddy. I'm in Cheshire. I'm not your buddy, and I was referring to use of the doll, which you featured in your meme. You disgust me. Here we go, we'll go back to McCaskill again. Here's the one. He's an odd individual. It seems his videos are particularly peculiar, genuinely incredible. He has seemingly nothing better to do than sit in a cupboard making the same video over and over again. I sit in a cupboard correcting people like you, or have you forgotten? Here's a reminder then. EVs are flying off the shelves. A new EV registered every 60 seconds in July 2023. Today in the auction there's another Polestar registered 31st of 7 2023, and it has 2 owners. Nothing unusual there, Baz, except that it's only done 143 miles, and it's not the only one. So he's replied, petrol diesel sales are down considerably. Even this brand new model is reduced by over £9,000 already, and it's not the only one. Plenty of heavily reduced petrol and diesel models of a brand new to the market Audi is almost unheard of. Well, they're being affected by EVs, mate. But anyway, let's just check. So I've put here, before you make yourself look silly, read the advert. Price includes $5,200 Audi finance deposit contribution. Please add this back on for a cash purchase price. So it's not £9,000 discount. Okay, buddy, maybe one day you'll learn how the reply feature works and get off your soapbox. Now, the reason I do, the reason I do the kind of RT is because I know what happens. And I know that when I need to come back to it, I've got both the tweets that I can look at. So that's why I do it. Don't come on my channel or don't tweet me telling me what to do on my feed. Do what you want on yours. I'll never tell you what to do on yours. Don't tell me on mine. He's put, maybe one day you'll learn how the reply feature works and get off your soapbox. And I've put, and maybe one day you will stop tweeting lies. It seems to have gone quiet in here. Good, I can get on with editing today's video about an EV which is depreciated by nearly £4,000 per mile. I just want all my followers to see what I have to put up with. You don't like it, buddy? Don't tweet me. Shifting EVs, part of life, Barrie. Pointing out bullshit in motor trade, the other. Actually, that's my life. Apparently your life is fabricating stuff and saying things that aren't true. Shifting EVs, part of life, Barrie. Pointing out bullshit in motor trade, the other. How's that going for you? You do a wonderful job making it easy, cheers. No probs, Nick, but you may want to try thinking before you tweet next time, and everyone can see that you weren't telling the truth, so why would they believe anything you say? Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.